So today I'm going to explain my masteries and what masteries I want to end up having in the near future and what I want my ultimate and build to be, I guess. So we'll start out here in the utilities since there's the least here. I keep 2 points in wisdom just to help me advance a little bit faster. You know, it doesn't add much, but after 5 fights it's 100, so you know it's enough. I haven't bothered to put anything into this. It would help me go up quite a bit faster, but at the same time I have other masteries that would be better. So parry is a must. Even if you just rank 1, it doesn't matter. You must have parry. You must have dexterity, at least 1 point in it. I should put more in it, and I will, but just not yet. I have other stuff I need more. These are good, but there's better things. In here, willpower is fantastic. When I get another carbondium, I will put 1 more point into this, and that will put me at this one down here, which is very helpful. So what willpower does is, for each type of detrimental effect your champion suffers, they regenerate 0.6% health per second and gain 3 armor until the effect expires. So what that means is, let's say you get armor broke by Iron Man. You will start to regen for 6%, well 0.6% of your character's health per second. Now, that's not very much on its own. So what you need after that is you need recovery. And that increases all health your characters recover by, the second rank is 10, the next rank will be 15. And that is quite a bit. That's a ton. So if you've got 7% in here, or I guess 0.7% in here, and then you've got this up to 15, you can recover. It's my champion, like my Phoenix here, she'll recover about like 60 or something, 50 or 60, 50 I think, 50 HP per second right now with my current setup when I suffer an effect like that. Depends on the effect, and no, it's 40. It's like 36 or something, but I did just put another point in recovery today, so I haven't checked out what it is yet. The other thing is salve. It is very, very helpful, especially in the 2-star and 3-star characters. It can, especially in 2-star, it can just change a fight completely. And with recovery, it'll boost this up to 5 instead of 4, so that is good. This is good to have. You can master it if you want. If you're just looking for something to put a point in, that's a good one. This is a good one. You need at least 1 in this. When I get a few more, I'll probably put a few more in this and master it. It's very, very helpful. Block proficiency is also helpful. Block proficiency just means that instead of blocking, like, most champions block 49%. So that's not a ton, like, that's half, but with this, you can block an additional 8%. So some characters have more block proficiency than others, and so that 8% can be very good in the end. This is also good. Perfect block. It just means you hit, it gives you 0 damage to you on that block, which if you're fighting a fight that is way stronger than you, where if you mess up once and they touch you, you're dead, this can just make that fight a lot easier, to where when they are punching your defense, they aren't whittling you down to where they just kill you without landing a punch. Makes it way harder for them to do that. And greater vitality is very important. This is the most important, like, thing to have in this area. That 8% doesn't seem like much, but it is quite a bit. 8% of 10,000 is 80. No, I think so. Let me double check. If I can find a calculator. Oh, no, 800. 800. So, if you have a champ that has 10,000 health, with this you're adding another 800. That's very nearly 1,000. That can be, if somebody has damage of 200, that's 5 extra punches. That is quite a bit. Well, 4 extra punches. So here is like what it actually equates to in a champ, like in increased stats. See, here's block proficiency. She has a 53% block proficiency. But here is my health, up here in the top left, 805. So 9,799. And I have an increase of 807, which some of that comes from this first mastery right here, adding 36, but the rest of that, the 700, came from the 8%, and that is so much. So you can max this out, you can max out vitality, and you only gain 156. But even still, that, if you have the other one maxed out, 156 times 8 is 12, so it bumps that up to 168, which makes it better, but it's still just, it's not worth the mastery points. It's not worth the gold. They're just, these first ones right here are not worth it. Same with this one. I'd say this one is more worth it, but it's still not as good. And this is the same way, 8%. So if we go back and look at what her damage is, how much damage is it adding? 68. So it's adding 62. 62 damage. And that is far more than the, let's see, let's look at Ghost Rider. What does it add in here? 985 health, 77 damage. Wolverine, 753. So it's adding 700 health. It's adding 66 damage. Like, there's nothing better for increased base damage, increased base health. And it just builds every time there's a level up, it adds that 8% to it. So whenever you level up a character, it adds 8% to that level up. So with every rank up, it adds the 8%, or yeah. And that, so your 5 stars and stuff get so much higher. All of your character stats get so much higher with every level, every increase of health, every increase in anything else. It is the they're good to have, especially because they're easy to get from a low level, so they can be the first ones that you master. You don't have to spend any mastery cores, anything like that, and you can get some very good stat increases. In here, some must-have is Pierce, which makes your critical hits do more damage. And then these are good, but they're not very good. 4% is okay, but 0.5 is not very okay. This, however, 10% at max, 10% at max is very okay. Especially with Scarlet Witch or X-23, any of those people that really rely on critical hits, it can be very helpful. And increase by 50%, that's huge. So let's put that 50% to Phoenix and see what her critical rate or her critical damage can be with that added into it. Actually, better yet, X-23. Alright, so critical chance, 23%. So if you've got 23 times 0.5, adds 11, so you're hitting 33, 34, about 35. It might round it up for you and be generous. So your critical, no, sorry, I was doing the wrong one. Sorry. Critical damage increased by 50%, so 211 times 0.5. That is 105, so you're 316% critical damage. So if the damage is 835 times 3.316, so she can crit for 2,642 if I have that all the way up. That's huge. Like, that can do a lot of damage. Especially since I have Pierce, which makes it ignore armor. So she won't do exactly 2,642 because of armor, but with Pierce, it'll ignore part of that armor so it can get closer to that max damage. And if you put this in there, you've got 10% that can do. So that's 10%, 50%, 60%. That's quite a bit. You can do quite a bit of damage, especially when you hit rank 5, 50, and you've got your 5 stars upping levels. It starts to build, starts to increase pretty well. These ones over here are good. This one is a must. At least 1 point in it. It's best to have it maxed if you can. The rest of these are good, but there's other things that are cheaper. Like this. This is good. That's very good. Also good. Oh, this is very helpful. It doesn't do a bunch, but it does quite a bit, and it can maybe help save you once you get kind of low in a fight. Maybe increase your damage just enough that you can overcome them. This is okay, but it's just not it's not worth it. Like this one's worth it, I would say. Because if you have this all the way up, then it really doesn't take out that much. It knocks it down to 5.6, which still is pretty good. Good enough, at least. And it will increase your damage by quite a lot at full level. So that is all the masteries I believe that I need to cover. I can't really. I think probably I'll get this one just because I have I do have willpower, so it will make my willpower activate all the time, and that will be very good, but at the same time I don't know if I'll be able to run a couple of my other masteries. So that is all. Just a reminder, if anything, just because a percentage looks low doesn't mean it translates into low numbers. It may not seem as high, but when you do the math on it, they become very useful. So don't knock a percent just because it's a low number. Just give it a chance.